Donald Trump is accused of misrepresenting his net worth to the tune of billions.
Which is, you may recall, to Trump's great chagrin. He lifted up his arms, dramatically gestured, "Why don't I have a jury here?" and prompting a whole round of speculation about his lawyers having failed to ask for it, etc.
The New York judge presiding over the civil fraud trial of former President Donald Trump was blasted on social media on Monday after cameras caught him smiling for the cameras as the trial got underway. What led the judge to laugh in the courtroom during the public trial? And what was the president's response to all the accusations? Trump is accused of misrepresenting his net worth to the tune of billions. A $250 million fraud lawsuit brought by New York Attorney General Letitia James against former President Donald Trump. His company and his two adult sons had its first day of trial today. Appearing with Trump in court today were his lawyers, his son Eric, and his advisor Jason Miller. One of his lawyers, Chris Kise, got into a heated exchange with Judge Arthur Engoron. The main controversy is that the New York judge presiding over the civil fraud trial of former President Donald Trump was blasted on social media on Monday after cameras caught him smiling for the cameras as the trial got underway. Conservatives on social media immediately reacted with outrage on Monday when New York City Judge Arthur Engoron was briefly shown in the courtroom smiling and taking off his glasses to seemingly pose for cameras that were filming inside the courtroom. Just smiling and laughing as they turn our country into a third world banana republic, State Freedom Caucus Network comms director Greg Price posted on X. Trump, for the majority of the opening statement, stares directly forward with his hands crossed over his chest while looking at his desktop monitor with all of the graphics the prosecutor is showing. Trump also tapped his feet and fidgeted from time to time. At one point, he whispers into the ear of his lawyer, Chris Kise, who sits to the right of him. Trump was defiant both before entering the courtroom and during a lunch recess on Monday. The former president dismissed Engoron as a Democrat and an operative in a brief appearance in front of reporters. Trump stated that this is a rigged court in his heated statement. He also took aim at Attorney General Letitia James, labeling her a radical left Attorney General.
Okay, thank you, everybody. This is a disgraceful situation. As I say, murders are going on as you stand here, and they're wasting everybody's time for many months on this case where banks got paid a fortune, loaned money, got paid money back, didn't even need their money. Built a great company, and we have to go through this.
During the lunch break, Trump spoke in front of cameras inside the courthouse, arguing that Engoron is a rogue judge and that James is a corrupt person and a terrible person. On his way out of the courtroom, Trump stared down James, looking down at her as he walked by, and he glared angrily. The former president also called Engoron a Trump hater, and at one point spoke about how people are being murdered right outside in the street, and that nothing happens to those criminals. We're going to be here for months with a judge that already made up his mind. It's ridiculous, Trump complained to reporters during the lunch break, amping up his attacks on Engoron, whose rulings in the case could cost Trump's company hundreds of millions of dollars and impact its ability to do business in New York. This is a judge that should be disbarred. This is a judge that should be out of office. This is a judge that some people say could be charged criminally for what he's doing. He's interfering with an election, and it's a disgrace, Trump said. Asked why he wanted to attend the opening of the trial today, he said he wanted to watch this witch hunt, whose purpose, he said, is to interfere with the country's elections. Trump also bashed special counsel Jack Smith, who has charged him with federal counts in two other unrelated cases. This rogue judge refuses to acknowledge that we won 80% of this case in the appellate division, Trump said, claiming Engoron has contempt for his own court system. Trump's lawyers had previously pointed to James's promises to voters that she would get Trump if elected. James declared that justice will prevail as she entered the courthouse. James arrived with her legal entourage Monday morning and briefly spoke in front of the media. She accused Trump of fraudulently inflating the value of his businesses and his net worth and stated that no one is above the law. In brief remarks after leaving the courtroom, Trump maintained that he has done nothing wrong and insisted that the lawsuit was part of an effort to interfere with the 2024 election. Banks loved our business, they loved our deals, they weren't defrauded, Trump said. They made a lot of money and they considered me a very good client. The former president also complained that his time spent at trial was keeping him off the campaign trail. I've been sitting in a courthouse all day long instead of being in Iowa, New Hampshire, South Carolina, or a lot of other places I could be at, Trump said. This is a horrible situation for our country. It's election interference, he added.